Hello and welcome to the advanced wave spawning tutorial for SoulLink Procedural AI Spawner. This is a new feature that is coming in version 1.3.0. It's currently in beta testing. This tutorial is based on the beta test, so there may be changes before the release. I'm going to basically take you through the basic setup. We're just going to have you start with a global radius and simultaneous spawns. Then we'll go to repeating waves, then override trigger radius with multiple trigger areas, and eventually show how to do a wave item start on wave item completed, which will allow us to do boss spawns. The setup I've already done, I have this industrial area scene. I've got an HQ FPS player in the scene. I also have Enviro. And I'm using these bonus scripts, the bonus spawn tracker system that is now included under spawner bonus. There's scripts and there's a prefab called spawn tracker. You drag that into the scene and that'll give you the capability to show the number of spawns in the scene that are alive and scores for the player. As you kill each spawn, you can accumulate points. Kind of a basic idea of how you would set up your own system. You can take this code and you can expand on it or use it as is. I do have 3 AI set up. I've got a zombie, a giant zombie for a boss, and a giant spider. In addition to the spawn tracker in the scene, we have to add the spawn tracker script to each AI prefab and assign a points value. This will be the points that the player gets when he kills the spawn. Also, you have to assign the on-death event from the spawn tracker into the on-death event handler of the AI so that it knows when it dies that this script can notify the spawn tracker system. Alright, and also in the scene I have some ammo and some guns laying around the floor, or the ground. If I run this, we can just get a look at what the scene looks like without any spawns. Alright, you can see in the upper left corner we have the spawns and the score. I can pick up weapons and ammo. But no spawns. Alright, so let's go ahead and add a wave spawner system. Alright, first thing we do is create an empty game object. We'll call it Wave Manager. Each set of waves must have a Wave Manager. And add the Wave Manager component. We'll call this Wave 1. That adds a child object, Wave Spawner, called Wave Spawner Wave 1. And we have a selectable time of day. I have set it up just for any time so that we don't have to deal with time of day. There's a delay spawns. We're going to let it delay 15 seconds before starting. That'll give the player time to pick up ammo and weapons before the enemies spawn. We're not going to do any repeats in this particular version. Before we continue, we're going to add also to the wave spawner the wave tracker component. This is going to allow us to have the waves tell it when they've been started and when they've completed, and also to show that on the screen and to play a sound. I've included a wave start sound and a wave completed sound that you can use freely. And for each wave, we have to add the on wave started event. We will drag in the wave manager, go to the wave tracker and add on wave started. And same thing for wave completed. Wave tracker, wave complete. All right, now for each wave, you're going to want to do this on waves that you want to track. All right, now that we have that, we can add a wave item. You can have as many wave items as you want, and they can be running simultaneously, or they can depend upon each other, or they can have delays. So in this case, this is going to be our zombies wave. We're going to auto start. No delay. The reason why I can do any delay is we already have a delay for the entire wave. And eventually we're going to do a repeat. And if we have a delay here and a delay here, then those are going to accumulate. And we really only want 15 seconds between waves and before the wave starts. So let's drag in the zombie B prefab. We want to do 100% probability so that it always spawns in the wave. We could set any other of these filters and other parameters for our spawns just like you normally would, but we don't need to do that here. We'll just collapse that. And we're using for this initial example, we're using the global radius to trigger our spawns. So that basically takes the value from the SoulLink Spawner radius, and if you're within that radius anywhere, it's going to trigger these spawns. Now the spawn radius itself is just this little area here, so we're going to expand that, make it 10. We'll keep it close by because we want to be able to see all the spawns and kill them and not have to hunt them down on the map for this demo purposes. And we are going to say 3 minimum, 3 maximum spawns, so we will get exactly 3 spawns. The spawn interval will tell us how long between each spawn before you spawn the next item. We could say, for example, a second, and then you'd have one spawn in, and a second later the second one, and a second later the third one. For purposes of this demo, we're just going to keep it at 0 so they all spawn at the same time. The spline path is a future feature we don't have in there yet for this demo. We could repeat this item, but we are going to leave that blank for now. And we have a complete type. Like, what is it that determines whether this item is complete? You can have spawning complete, which means as soon as they have spawned, this item is considered complete. You can do an autocomplete, which means it's just complete automatically. Whenever the system checks us, is it complete, it'll say it's complete. And that's useful for, say, an unlimited spawn, so that you don't have to wait for it to be considered complete. But we're going to use elimination kill. There's also elimination kill or despawn. That one is more for a system where like a 2D shoot 'em up, where you have enemies coming on screen and then they go off screen, and as they go off screen they're going to despawn on their own even if you don't kill them, and so you want to consider them gone as well. So in this case we want to actually have to kill them, and that is all we need at this point, because what we're going to get is just this one wave item. We're going to get 3 zombies, and when they're dead, that's it. We're done with that example. So let's go ahead and give that a try. Alright, now we have our 15 seconds to get as much as we can get here. Oh, there we are. Should have one more here somewhere. Oh, there he is. Alright, that's it. That was our one wave. We've accumulated 150 points, and there will be no more waves. So that's not all that exciting, because that would be the end of the game. But good. So let's add some more things. Like, let's just do a repeat to make it simple. We'll repeat the entire wave. As soon as you do that, we have repeat type. We can do user defined or unlimited. In this case, let's use user defined, and we're just going to do one repeat. And we do not need to do a repeat delay, again, because we already have a delay spawns at 15 for the entire wave, and if the wave repeats, it will still use that delay the next time around. If we were to add a repeat delay here, that would add more time to before it reactivated the wave. And that is all we want to do. So now we will have 2 waves of 3 items each. Grab our weapons and ammo. Second wave should start shortly. Alright, and that was it for that demo. So now we have a complete wave repeat. Let's see, next we're going to do some override trigger radius with multiple triggers. Actually, before we do that, let's add another wave item so we make this a little more interesting. So we can add another wave item. We're going to put this giant spider in there, call it spiders. This one will also auto start. Always do the 100% probability. This one we want to make some variable size spiders. We will keep the same global radius and spawn radius, the same concept. Notice that each of these can have their own trigger methods. So while the zombies could be global radius and the 8 or 10 spawn radius, we could make this something completely different. In fact, we could say, all right, we want the spiders to be a global trigger, but the radius maybe not as big, like say only 8. And for minimum maximum, let's make 6 spiders. And keep the spawn, well, at the spawn interval, let's make it a little more interesting. Let's make it spawn 1 per second so that they spread out a little bit. And we will eliminate and kill as well. And again, this is going to repeat the entire wave each time. So let's see what we've got now. Yeah, that got a little more difficult. As we do know that they're only going to spawn there, we're going to back up here so we're not right in the thick of things. Change weapons here. And that's it. Alright, that definitely got a little more interesting. Alright, so let's make some changes here though. Instead of having these global radiuses, we're going to make 2 trigger zones with smaller radiuses. So we're going to have an area inside this building here, and then one over in this area over here. So all we have to do here is change this to an override radius, both of these. Okay, now as you can see, it's already reduced them down to this smaller area. The triggers are smaller, the spawning areas are the same. What we want to do is change the trigger origin. So I'm going to go ahead and put a child object. I'm going to call this wave item 1 trigger. And I'm going to move that one over to this area here. Let's drag this into the origin. Alright, now we see it popped over here. And this is what we see now is it'll trigger. It's a little bit odd because we don't want it to trigger when you're already into the spawn area. We're going to change this up a little and say the trigger radius is 10 and the spawn radius is 5. I'll make it 6. 7. Alright, so when you enter this green area, then they will spawn within this blue area. Let's also make a wave item trigger for number 2. And we'll assign that to the spiders. And now we gotta move that over. I'm gonna move this inside the building. Okay. We're gonna make this a larger trigger radius. Maybe not quite that large. Make it so that just as you're entering the building, it will trigger. But we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of a spawn radius, we're going to use a spawn bounds, because this particular building is rectangular in shape. So to get the best coverage, we're going to add a bounds. And move that bounds into the building. You need to bring it up higher. All right. Let's make it. We can just drag this to the shape of the building, approximately. Like so. And, oops, oh, there it goes. That looks good there and there. Okay. Alright, so now we're covering the entire inside of this building roughly. Alright, and there's our 2 zones. So we have When we enter this green area, we're going to get zombie spawns here, but when we enter this trigger area here, you're going to get this rectangular area spawning the spiders. Nothing else has changed. So let's go ahead and run that. The biggest difference is that we're going to run this, and instead of things just appearing right away, even though it will say wave started, until we enter these trigger zones, then nothing will spawn. So actually we have lots more time to pick up ammo and stuff. And I don't have to worry about rushing in there. Okay, so first thing we'll do is we'll go over here, and this should trigger, and we've got our zombies. Okay, we have no spawns. And we'll trigger the spiders in here. Notice the combat music didn't play that time when we triggered the spiders. There is a little bug in my... That is a system that goes with the AI system. Oop. So that's it for that demonstration. As I was saying earlier, the battle music and is all part of the SoulLink AI system that is still in alpha development. So definitely some bugs there. These AI are all from the SoulLink AI system. All right, so now let's see. We want to do some. Instead of a wave repeat, we're going to clear that. Instead, we're going to use an item repeat. So each item will repeat. And so we're going to do a repeat, one repeat for zombies. And this time you do want to put a repeat delay, because this is not a global wave repeat, it's the individual item repeat. So once you kill all the zombies the first time, then it will wait, say, 15 seconds before this wave repeats. Now you can do something on the repeat. There's a repeat change type, which basically means if it repeats, do you want to change the number of spawns? In this case, let's say yes, we want to increase by 1. Well, let's make it by 2. So first time through, we're going to get 3 zombies. The second repeat on this item, we're going to get 5 zombies. Now let's do the same with the spiders. We're going to repeat that 1 time, and we're going to increase that by 3. So we'll get 6 the first time and 9 the second time. So both of these are going to repeat. Now again, these don't trigger until you walk into those areas. However, once they are triggered, they do not have to trigger again to do the repeat. They will just continue to repeat. At least I think that's the way I set it up. Well, we'll find out. Let's go ahead and try this. Test that theory, see if they will spawn without triggering on the repeat. Yep, there they go, see? And once they've started, they go. Once we have 6 now. Alright. I have no ammo. Have 2 more spiders around here. There's the music bug again, but that is still being worked on. So, the bug escaped. There we go. Okay, now they're spawning again, 1 every second. And that was wave 1, just wave 1, because we repeated once for each one. And that's it. That was it for that setup. So that would take a little while to go through again. So instead of going through that entire thing, we're going to make this simpler. And instead of spiders, we will do the same for the zombies, 1 repeat. But now we're going to change this to giant zombie. Yeah, put our giant zombie in, where is it at? Oh, sorry, gotta expand that. Giant zombie. There's only ever going to be 1 of these. Let's see. And he is already giant. We don't need to scale him. The bounds. Yeah, we don't need the bounds this time. We're just going to say a radius. What else do we need to change here? We're not repeating the boss. Let's see, we're going to move this. This is this trigger. We're going to move it over here. Give the boss some room to move out here. We'll then spawn over here in this area. You always want to keep your spawn points as close to the ground as you can. Your triggers and stuff. Not quite that big of an area. Let's make it a... Actually, let's do a global radius. So what we're going to have here is that it doesn't matter where you are when this item triggers, the boss is going to spawn because you're going to be within this trigger area. And he will spawn within this area. And we only want one of him. And just instantly spawn 0. And the start type, this is where it gets interesting. We want to change this to wave item complete. And we're going to put the name zombies in here. Because we're going to wait. This one will not start until this one completes. And that gives you the capability of having like a chain of dependencies. You could have one wave item dependent upon another, upon another, upon another, and then ultimately the boss spawn. So let's just go through this real quick. First thing is we're going to start the wave. We're going to enter this green area. We're going to trigger these zombie spawns. We're going to kill them all. It's going to repeat. We'll kill all those, and then instantly over here we'll spawn the boss. And we will kill him. And I think that should work. Unless I made an error here, but I don't think I did. Alright. Use this weapon. Okay. We should get 6 this time around, I think it was. Oh, it's 5. And there's our boss. And I have no ammo. All right. And that is it for that. The only things I didn't really show is the unlimited spawn capability. That's not too hard to do. Or multiple waves. Let's actually do it. One more thing. We're going to do a whole nother wave after that wave. So we're going to call this wave 2. And we're going to add a wave item. This will be our spiders again. 100% spawn probability. I go 1 to 1.5 size. We'll do the global radius on this one, make it simple. Radius, make it 10. And we'll make we'll just do 3 spiders. And elimination kill. This one, let's do a repeat unlimited. And we'll increase it by 1 each time. Well, make it 3 each time. So now we've got 2 waves. We got the first wave, we're going to kill the zombies over here. 1 repeat. The boss will spawn over here. There. And once we kill him, this wave will start, and we'll have spiders appearing in this area, and they will repeat unlimited and increase by 3 each time. Eventually you're going to get overwhelmed and be dead for sure. So let's go ahead and do that. Test it. And then I'll wrap this video up. Okay, we know we have to trigger this one. Somewhere. Do not see him. He must be far away. The music's stopping. Oh, must be close. Where'd he go? Okay, if we could just find him. Is he? Did he go inside here? Oh, sorry, it was the boss. Silly me. I forgot, it instantly spawns. Okay, now we've got our spiders. Like, oh yeah, we dare beat the boss. There's the other one. Oh, okay. Now I'm in some serious trouble because now I've got 9 of these things. And they're just going to keep coming and accumulating. Alright, we'll just stop it there. Alright, there's one final concept that I want to go over that is something that one of my users is interested in and was a little confusing, but I think it'll be made more clear when I demonstrate this. So what I'm going to do, get rid of this wave 2. just going to make one wave. And we're going to get rid of our boss. I'm going to do just one very specific concept. Alright, let me get rid of this override trigger. Let's see, trigger radius is good. What we want to use is spawn points. We did demonstrate the spawn bounds, but spawn points, which is kind of a unique one. It gives a little bit different idea, a little different concept. So what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to be in this trigger area, and when we enter the trigger area, to have spawns appear throughout the level at different positions. So let's say I want some zombies to appear here, and some zombies to appear here, and spiders to appear, you know, in a little area inside here. Then by this one trigger, you can spawn all those 3 different points at the same time, and have them be different. Actually, take that back. So they're going to be the same. There won't be spiders here. It'll be just the zombies in the 3 locations. Now what you can do though is use a herd object and have a variety of zombies at each point in space. So we're going to do the 3 different points. One here, one inside the building, and one over here. So let's do add point 3 times. Now these have to have a transform. So instead of this trigger, we have 2 trigger points already, but we're gonna kind of let's just rename these to wave item spawn point. Well, actually just call it spawn point. Well, wave item 1 spawn point 1. That's a good idea. So we know it's associated with the wave item 1. I'll just do 2 points to make it simple. So one over in this area, and I'm going to move this one over into this area over here. Now I have to assign these. Let's get rid of this 3rd one. I am not seeing the points render correctly here though. Something's not right. Oh, I know what I did wrong. We have to set a spawn radius. Alright. I'm not sure why I'm getting a radius in there. That may be a bug. Kind of ignore that for now. But what we're going to get is, when we're in this trigger zone, we're going to get spawns over here and spawns over here. I'll figure out why it's got the extra colored radius there. That we'll have to fix that. But I believe that's all we need. We've got, okay, so we zombies, so it's going to go with, we'll make it like 6 this time. So we should have like 3 at each location. What it does is it will cycle through them as it spawns. It'll say spawn the first one here, second one here, third one here, fourth one here, so on. So it kind of evenly distributes them. We do have the repeats on again and increasing in spawns, so we'll see how that works as well. I believe we have everything we need. Save that. Now we should after 15 seconds, it will trigger and we should have zombies in both those areas. Alright, gather up our ammo and weapons. There's some zombies over there. Over here, oh, there we go. And zombies over here. Oh, here they come, the next wave. Next repeat, that is. 6 in this. That's it. All right. And again, that was a common trigger point, but different areas where you can spawn. I could have placed as many of these points as I wanted to have those zombies spawn in those specific points. All right, that's it for that.